Just leaving the pavilion where I slept last night, and looks like I did about 29 miles yesterday, which is my longest day, and not by choice. If you saw the video, you understand. And I have to say, things are sore this morning. My right hip is really sore, and I didn't sleep great, but we'll see if it eases up. I'm heading up, actually further away from the trail where there's a restaurant to get breakfast, and I'm going to take it easy today and see if maybe that helps just a little bit with some of the soreness. I sleep so much better in the hammock. I think that's a big part of it. But hustling along the rocks at the end of the day yesterday was no picnic, and my feet are good, which is what I was worried about last night, but my hips are sore, my right one in particular. Anyway, hopefully it'll ease up a little. I feel like I'm walking with a little bit of a limp right now. So it's not good, but I don't think it's serious, at least not at this point. I just finished up the climb coming out of Port Clinton. Most of these towns and road crossings are in gap areas, so it's almost always a climb coming out. This was a pretty steep one, about 1,000 feet of elevation, nothing crazy, but steep enough to be work. And early on in the hike, when I would hear other hikers say, "Oh, I'm sick of these downhills. I could use some uphill." I thought they were full of baloney, and they were just, like trying to psych themselves out. But I have to say, having got trail legs built up pretty well, the uphills are a bit of a relief in a way. Like, they take more energy than a downhill for sure, but they stretch out. It's not really my muscles, it's more my joints and my hips this morning, and it felt good. So it's almost like doing stretches or something. So I feel a little better now, and I don't know how many miles I'll end up doing today, but I was sort of thinking it would be minimal, and now I'm thinking, no, I feel okay. I can do regular miles. So we'll see how it goes, see how the rocks treat me. The area north of here is supposed to be the worst of the rocks, so even though I've been griping about it already, supposedly it gets worse. Great. We'll see. Yeah, and then the weather's good. I think tonight will be a no rain fly night, which makes me happy. And then tomorrow should be good, but Tuesday starts to look like rain. Had to happen, it's fine. It doesn't look like terrible storms or anything, at least at this point. And the weather today was actually chilly this morning. It was about 50, I would say. And, fine. But in the lightweight sleeping bag, I was just slightly chilly here and there last night. So, like if I didn't have the zipper up on one shoulder or something, it was a little chilly. Anyway, that's good hiking weather, so I'm sweating from that uphill, but otherwise the temperature's really good today. The other thing I should mention is by getting into town last night, doing extra mileage, and then getting a meal, I actually really changed the equation on my food situation. So I think I have like 5 full days of food, something like that. I've got a crazy heavy pack right now because it's so full of food, and food is heavy, especially breakfast and lunches. So I've got more than enough food to get to Delaware Water Gap, and because I'm getting there quicker, I think I may be there a day earlier than I had planned. I booked a hotel there, so I may have to change that booking. And because I got town food for a dinner and a breakfast, I suddenly have more than enough food. So, which is good because I can maybe double up on some of the meals, keep my energy up for these bloody rocks. Well, I am definitely counting down in triple digits, 965.7 to Katahdin. I can't swear that this sign is kept up to date year to year, and the distances do change as they reroute things, but yeah, because I'm more than 1201 from Springer. Something's not right on that sign, because that would be 2166 for the whole trail, and that's not right. Anyway, counting down, not up. It's interesting. Good change, and having a good morning. Just arriving at Pulpit Rock. Let's see what we got here. There's going to be a view. Here we go. Wow. That is a big view. Let me zoom up. That's the best view we've had in Pennsylvania so far. Really nice. So I'm up here. What is this called? Something pulpit?
Pulpit's Rock.
Pulpit's Rock.
No, this is Dan's Pulpit.
Dan's Pulpit. Here we go. So one of the better views we've had in several days.
And if you were at the pinnacle, that's straight ahead. You would have.
The pinnacle? Okay. All right.
Earlier today, probably.
It's all a blur, to be honest. Anyway,
Well, it's kind of a. You have. It's.
I'll put you in the video.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's supposed to be the high point in Berks County.
Ah.
Well, it's not the total high point.
But there's another spot that's like 10 feet higher, and just in the middle of the woods, nothing spectacular.
So it's about 4:30. I've got about another 2.5 miles to a shelter area where I'm going to stay tonight. And there's a lot of rocks still, so it's slow going. It'll probably take me an hour and a half or something to do the 2.5 miles, depending on the rocks. But hasn't really been bothering me today. And despite getting not a great night's sleep and way too many miles yesterday, I feel great today. So who knows? Hard to explain. I expected to do a short day today, but it'll still end up, I think, being, I don't know, 22, 23 miles anyway. So another good solid day. I've been listening, maybe this is the answer. I've been listening to a book on tape with a book called North, which is about Scott Jurick's attempts to set the speed record on the Appalachian Trail, and I think it's 2015. And it may just be that that's riveting enough to keep me going and not thinking about the rocks. So maybe I need to buy a bunch more books on tape. We shall see. I thought it might be annoying to listen to somebody who's trying to, speed, not walk, but run, the trail. And actually, it's been really interesting and, lots of stuff that I now relate to, places I've been. So, yeah, it's been good. And I'm not done with it yet. Probably will be by the time I get to camp. But it's really, something's made the day go quick. I think that's it. So I'm wrapping up the day at mile 1242. I did 22.5 miles today, which is pretty good over those rocks, particularly with a little bit of a late start after having breakfast at that restaurant. But man, that breakfast really, it was good energy. I had a couple pieces of French toast, a couple of fried eggs, bacon, sausage, coffee, juice, and it's just, there's no amount of stuff I'm going to carry that fills you up like that or has that level of calories. So having dinner out last night with a sub and then that breakfast was really great today. And the day passed pretty quickly. Despite the rocks, I think having a good supply of food energy helps, and I think I'm adjusting a little bit to the rocks. It's still a little hairy, trying not to fall and bang myself up, but so far so good. I think I got about 3 more days of Pennsylvania. 2.5 days, 3 days of hiking in Pennsylvania, and then I will be to Delaware Water Gap and leaving Pennsylvania, which doesn't mean leaving the rocks, but it means it should diminish, shortly thereafter a bit. Ran into a guy on the trail today who asked me, what do you call an alligator who wants to be a cop? And I said, of course, it's an investigator.